and the neighbors thereof. Saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. And that's also, you know, backing up the elder point, illustrating that this Babylon that the Lord is talking about is a prophetic Babylon, because the Babylon, when Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, the ancient Babylonian Empire didn't get destroyed in that fashion. The ancient Babylonian Empire, when you go into the history, it was taken down, hostile takeover. All right, when you read about it in Daniel the 5th chapter, it said Daniel the Medes took the kingdom. All right, which that goes into being received. All right, which he received the kingdom from Cyrus. All right, he was ruling with him. Just a little bit on the history. But the point being made is that Babylon didn't get destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. But the future Babylon, which is America, right, the city of confusion, is going to be destroyed in that fashion. And that fire that's going to be coming from the heavens are external nuclear missiles. Okay?
You got something? Get that scripture to this one. No, he don't finish speaking. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, so because of righteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. How was America made great? How was Europe made so-called great? The oppressions and enslavement of the so-called Negroes, Spanish, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Most High said, because of unrighteous dealings, because of all the genocide of the Indians, right? Because of the enslavement of the so-called black man, because of injuries, riches got by deceit, right? Esau stole America, man, by deceit. It wasn't as if the so-called Native Americans was at war with the so-called white man. No, they came in peace, as friends, and then they backstabbed the so-called Native American Indians, man. Because the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So the scriptures say, because of these things, the kingdom will be translated from one people to another. So everything that you see, the glory of the so-called white man, bankers, the elites, the Illuminati, the vaults all around the world that Esau has, is prepared for the Lord's man, the children of Israel. Right now you got this thing, France and Jake in West Africa, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, where they're kicking France out of their country, and they're demanding for France to give them back all the gold they had. And what was the response? Oh, we never stole any gold from you. All that gold was mine and not me. France does not have one gold mine, man. Right? So they stole all that gold from Jake, man. So the Most High is going to translate it from one people to another. This is why the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So it's going to be the end of this age, the age of the heathens, the age of the empire, the so-called white man. And it's going to be a new age, which is the end of the Israelites, a kingdom of heaven, where righteousness is going to reign on earth. Yahushua being king of the world, man, king of the universe under the Most High, and the elect being joint heirs with him, man. That was it.
Habakkuk 2 and 4, behold, his soul which is up. Salaki, let me read it again. Habakkuk 2 and 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yeah, the so-called lifted up meaning what? He's proud, man. You listen to these different dialogues that Esau has at the World Economic Forum. What is he talking about? The population. Exterminating 95% of humanity, man. By the way of famines, orchestrated famines. You know, by the way of orchestrated epidemics, chemical warfare, and ultimately World War III. Where he's going to rise out of the ashes and rule over the world with this AI and digital system, man. Where he's going to have humanity in total bleach. That's the mindset of Esau, man. He's proud, man.
It says, but the just shall live by his faith.
That's right, the just are into what? The elect, man, the hope for the elect, man. That's all we have, right? It's this hope, man. Because with everything that's coming down the pipe, if you don't have, man, your mind is going to be unstable, man. You're not going to know what the fuck to do, man. So this is how these people are going to fall for this mark of the beast, man. During the hour of temptation. They're not going to know that they're being tempted. They're not going to know that this is the Most High testing and trying them. So they're going to fall for this devil's agenda, man. If you want to eat, these shelves are empty, but we got some rations, and if you rations, take this chip. If you want to buy and sell, if you want to do anything, you can have this chip in you, man. This is the world that we're coming into, man. Right? We shall live by his faith. So in that time, we're going to trust in Yahweh Shah, man. That's the only way to make it out of this, man. It's not your money. It's not the different provisions you provided for yourself. Right? It's not, no riches, man. The scripture said, riches is not going to profit you when they arrive, man. Righteousness is going to deliver you from death. So that righteousness is that faith, right?
5. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine, the proud man neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, his wine is his way of life. His democracy, his banking system that he traps the nations with to lay in bed with him, right? All these different benefits that he accumulates upon them. That's his wine. Homosexuality, where he's paying these nations to push these agendas within their own people. That's their wine. Right?
He is a proud man, neither keep home. He enlargeth his desire as hell, and as death.
Yeah, that's right. He's as hell and as death. And the scripture tell you two things that are never satisfied. It's the barren womb and the grave. Right? Hell is something like hell that's talking about the grave. So Esau's never satisfied, man. He's never satisfied with values, right? He's trying to exterminate 7.5 billion people. This nigga's a maniac. You want to talk about us being a so-called black man who makes 30% of the population, but we commit 50% of the crimes. What about white the world? This man is being ready to exterminate nations. That doesn't get called out, right?
And cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and he heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, the smelting pot earth. Everybody wants to come to him. That's that melting pot. He heapeth unto him all people. Right?
Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Yeah, that's right. The chickens are coming home to roost. All the people you oppress now, they're getting tired of you, man. Yeah. Which is why Jake is kicking you out of Africa, man. Yeah. And now Esau's planning on using this black 4-star general, always using...
So a white man, and the ones mainly here in America, which America's that bulldog, they went and forced nations to vaccinate people with that AIDS plan. They was like, yo, if you don't do alright, they forced nations to basically pollute their people. They said, yo, if you don't do, because they call that a clean method. The dirty method is war. They was gonna have an El Salvador on your hand. So they're gonna have this as a shootout. It's gonna go that way. So they basically, yeah, man, so-called white man,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, that's how Esau spread the line, man.
I got a scripture for you, Op.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 24:6. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein.
And talk about America, man. America's that bloody city, man. As it was built upon the blood of the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Hundreds of millions of Native Americans, hundreds of millions of so-called Negroes and Hispanics has to die for this place to be the superpower of the world. It says, to
the pot whose scum is therein.
Yeah, whose scum is therein, man.
Right.
It's all this filthiness, man. Homosexuality, adultery, witchcraft, you know. Hey, man, you got this devil, Tim Watts, this ex-governor, I think in Milwaukee or something. This man got hospitalized for drinking too much horse semen, man.
Right.
You know, he had to get his stomach pumped out, man, to get rid of all the horse semen. And he was the governor of the state, man. That shows you that type of filthiness and wickedness that these demons are doing in high places, man. These Edomites. All your politicians, they come on camera, these billionaires, you know, Esau talk all proper, he got a suit and tie, You know what I'm saying? I see him transform himself as a light, man. Because when he get off camera, he go back to his penthouses, to his mansions, he's drinking baby blood, you know, getting andropone, right? So this is that pop, man. But,
and whose scum is not going out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it.
Yeah, that's right. Bring it out piece by piece. And that's what the Lord is doing. They're systematically breaking this place down, man. You know, from the trade, the supply chain. This is what is going to bring about the major plagues, such as the famine. Once you mess with the supply chain, that means shelves are empty. And people don't have a garden to cater to. Right? People don't even know how to garden. People don't know how to plant crops. Right? People don't know this. People don't know any of that, man. People depend on the system. And this is how Esau really went. This is that web, man. Right? Where he has you depend on one of all things. So that way when he shuts you down, you don't have no other way out. This way out is gonna be this mark of the beast, man. The RFID chip. They're going to know if you want to keep flowing in society, take this. Just as we see the prelude in 2020. Or you want to keep going to certain restaurants, you want to keep going to college, you want to keep your job, you got to get the clock shot. Right? So that was the prelude. And guess what? 70% of people fell for it, man. So that shows you that majority of the world is going to take this mark of the beast.
Meaning it hasn't been cleaned, man.
Yeah.
Right? Just like Numbers 30, 35, 33 says, the blood can't be shed. All right, thou shalt not shed the blood of the people, but by the blood of him that shed it. You know what I'm saying? So this devil still got a bunch of damn blood on his hands, man. All right? She set it upon the top of a rock. She poured it not upon the ground to cover it with dust. And that's what you would do. That's an ancient ritual that you would do when you would actually have, you know, animal sacrifices. You would drain the blood, and you put the blood on the dust of the ground, man. But this blood has been exposed, man. You know, the so-called white man's, you know, his atrocities and the different events that he's committed these atrocities on our people has been exposed, man. You know what I'm saying? That was it.
It's Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts.
That well-favored harlot is America. You read Revelation, I believe the 17th chapter, it breaks it down. That woman, right, is that great city that right called the colored beast, which is called the colored beast. It's NATO in the EU, these European nations. And that whore that rideth him is America. This is why Europe's foreign policy is America's foreign policy. Whatever America says, they go with. This is why these wars in the Middle East, they support America, right? So it says the well-favored harlot, because everybody wants to come here. Everybody knows if you want to better your economy, you got to do business with America. Or
do what you want to do. Where the place where you are, there might be laws against that.
Yeah.
Where you could come over here and indulge in a lot of wickedness over here.
Yeah.
It's appealing. That's what they call the so-called.
That's right. It's freedom from wickedness, man. That's what it is. It's freedom basically from the laws of the Most High, man.
Right.
Because the laws is like a yoke. You're bound to it. You know, you're bound to do it. And these people, the say the laws of the Most High is not grievous, but they look at it as a mistake.
Right.
Or you can tell I can eat pork, so what I'm supposed to eat?
Right.
Like with all these other meats the Most High made, that's the only thing you worry about? You can eat pork, you know? All these different types of meat, man. Right? We tell them that they're not supposed to get shape-ups and line-ups. That's grievous. Right? Because they want to look good for the bitches, man. Right? You know that in certain lifestyles, certain things they can't partake of, and it's grievous, man. Yahushua said, this is the condemnation. Light has come to the world, but men love darkness rather than light.
Right.
Because they don't want their deeds to be reproved, man. Nobody want to be told about themselves, man. They don't want to be told that they're filthy and dirty, man. Right? The Most High, that's what He requires, man. He requires you to acknowledge that, man. To acknowledge that you're wicked, that you're polluted, and that you need it. You need salvation. You need the outshot to save us from sin, man. Right? It's all about humbling ourselves, man. You know, but people don't got humility. They buck up to those of the Most High, man. That's why they're going to be destroyed.
Nahum 3 and 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
That's what's happening. America's being exposed, man. On all fronts, politically, economically, militarily, America's being proven to be weak, man. And religiously, right? America's proven to be weak. These nations, China's gearing for war with America. Iran is ready for war. As of late, yesterday, America lost a fighter jet in the sea because they had to evade one of the missiles from the Houthis. You know, they was making it seem like these was just some low-life rebels that they could just blow up. But then they make lose all this money, man. They said America already spent over $1 billion in a month just on the Houthis. So best believe the world is watching that, man. They're seeing how much is draining your economy. You know how much your militarily. If these rebels can do that, what do you can do with Iran? What do you think you can do with Russia or China, man? So you're exposed.
Verse 6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Yeah, America's a gazing stock. Right? The whole world is looking at this place, man. Looking at all the mess that's going on. Reading these comments on all the news pieces about what Trump is doing, how the American economy is affected. And you got all these people all over the world saying, yo, they're basically laughing at this place, man. Trump has made this place a laughing stock. Right? A laughing stock. Everybody's laughing at this place, man. Because this is the epicenter of the world. This is where the Most High, the main scene of the movie takes place here in Babylon. Right?
Yeah, I got something. It's Isaiah 34.
This is the brand.
What's the key point? Verse 5. But my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse with judgment.
That's right. Idumea is Edom. So the sword of the Lord is what? These Moses said in the same book that he created that smith that blows the coals in the fire, man. So the Most High is the one that gives men wisdom to create technology. Because it was already foretold about this MOTB prophecy, man. The RFID chip, right? It was already foretold, man. Which shows you that the Most High dictates all of history and all future, man, as it is written, right? So the Most High gave this man all this technology, right? So the Lord said his sword is going to be in heaven. That's these missiles. The Most High gave Esau the tools of his own minds, man. Right? It says it's going to come down upon them, which is America and all over Europe. They're going to feel these missiles, man. And America's going to be the place completely wiped out. Right? It says the people of my curse. Who has the curse of the Lord? The Edomites. Esau tries to say we have the of Cain, the curse of Ham, which is why we're so-called black. But him really projected, because he's the cursed one. He's the one without melanin. He's the one that can't stand in the sun. That's the curse of the Most High, man. Leprosy, pale skin. Right? So the people of my cursed them. And why is the Most High going to bring judgment upon Esau? What he did to his people into the world, man. They polluted the Most High's world.
It's Isaiah 47:7. That thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
That's right, because Esau didn't remember the latter end. Because he knew the whole time when he was enslaving the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that those were the Lord's chosen people. Christopher Columbus came with Hebrew interpreters. He knew those were the lost tribes. And what did he say? Oh, with just amount of men, we can subdue them. They're so nice people, man. They give you whatever. They give you the clothes of their back. These are some godly people. And then he wrote the letter to the wind saying, yeah, we can take them down. So, as he was doing that, he was a considerate of end. As he was doing all of this to Jacob, that eventually came judgment that happened to the Egyptians before them. Plagues would take over America.
Therefore, hear now this, thou shalt give it to Therefore, hear now this, thou shalt give it to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, thou sayest in thine heart, I live, and none else beside me. I should not sit as a widow. I should not sit as a widow, neither should I know the loss of children.
Yeah, that's speaking about America, man. They think that it's America first. God bless America and no one else. I ain't none else beside me. You don't think that destruction come before you. This is why this place is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon. America's never really been affected with plagues, man. World War I and World War II, it's these European nations that got affected, man. They got their economies destroyed. And this is what you was going into earlier. After World War II, this is when America became a world superpower, man. I am and none else beside me. I know nothing God can take down the Air Force. Yeah, we just gonna blow them up, right? Trump is talking, there will be bombing. But the Lord is going to bring plagues upon them. America, their virgin will be penetrated.
But these things should come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood.
That's right, which is we in that time right now. The loss of children and widowhood, which is coming into what? These plagues, man. Wars, famines, pestilences, pandemics. These are the things that's coming upon America suddenly, man. In one day, out of nowhere, boom, you get hit with these, man. When you're least expecting it. Go ahead.
They shall come upon thee in their perfections.
In their perfections, man. Because the fence that's coming to this place is unheard of, man. Famines in ancient times, but none like this time. Because at least in ancient times, men was able to get, farm their own crops. If not, they was to migrate to a country like Egypt, which had grain. But in this time, it's not going to be the case, man. You can't travel overseas to go get food. Over here in America, Bill Gates own majority of the farmland. So you're not going to have access to that, man. Right? So they're going to come upon you in their perfection. This place is going to get played the most in history.
Perfections of the completeness. You know, like, it's going to complete the time that it's meant to do. It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries. And it says, and for the great abundance of thy enchants.
Yeah, it's nothing but witchcraft that goes on in this place, man. And they do it openly, right? You got the whole thing with Jeff Bezos, where they sent them 6 women up in space. It was all a whole ritual to Baphomet and Queen of Heaven worship, man. The rocket ship was a phallus, right?
Depends on the spirit.
And they showed you their logos was the Baphomet, which is like a euro symbol. But it was basically right around Easter. And then the dogs. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, man. Right? Some of their witchcrafts are putting spells on people. You watch these different Oscars and things like that. Those are all different rituals that they're doing openly, man. America is a place of witchcraft, the mistress of witchcraft. Go ahead. You got something? You got something?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah 24, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in.
That's right. The city of confusion is Babylon. It's broken down. This place is being broken down, man. Massive layoffs are coming, man. Empty shells, right? This is how the Lord is breaking this place down. It says the confusion is broken down. every house is shut up that no man may come in. Why? Because there's going to be crimes in the streets. Just being outside in that time will be detrimental to your life. You could be walking outside and boom, straight bullet. Or somebody come and try to rob you for what you have to do on the spot. Right? Every house is shut up that no man may come in.
It says, every house is shut that no man may come in. There is a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
That's right. So there's a cry for wine in the streets. The good old days. That's what they're going to try to, get back. And, you see it ever since the pandemic. Everybody always talking about, it's like 2020 was one level, then 2021 another level, 2022, and then so forth. Is that, then people see that it's getting worse and worse, man. People wish about the days they could just go to the club, right? Where everything was over. These women are complaining about men not coming to clubs, bikes anymore. They can't feel it anymore. Why? Because men are getting started with their money. Man, we see the collapse of this economy, man. A lot of men are holding their funding, right? So people are reminiscing about that, man. How Trump came in and basically, that he's been in, has destroyed the economy, destroyed people, small businesses. You see people coming online crying how they lost their jobs or their business because of Trump, right? There's a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is dark. No more enemy. No more just turning on Netflix and Amazon Prime. You broke. You're not going to have any of these things. You're not going to have power. Go ahead.
I did it in the GNT if I may too.
Wow.
Isaiah 24 and 9. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, there is no more happy singing over wine.
That's right.
No one enjoys its taste anymore.
That's right. So no more, having those concerts in the summer. Even now, the scripture say, even though these things are happening, people are not going to repent. So even though all of this is happening, they still going to try to party it up, like in the days of Noah, right? You're going to have the Labor Day parade. They're going to still be doing all that free shit, man, right? But the Lord is going to cut that off, man. The orders of music are going to be brought low.
It says, in the city, everything is in the city, everything is in chaos. And people lock themselves in their houses for safety.
That's right.
I can't help to think about anarchy with that one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Anarchy, man. All running rampant throughout the streets, man. Men, women ain't safe. Children ain't safe. You locking yourself inside your house because you afraid of somebody kicking the door in or shooting the door in.
Firebomb in your house.
Bomb in your house, man.
Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, man. Shit's gonna get wild. Society, man.
That's right. Lawlessness, man. That's what scripture say. You get it. Second Ezra says, a man God the king's offenses. But you got more than that?
There's a little more. It says, people shout in the streets because there is no more wine. Happiness is gone forever.
Happiness is gone forever, man.
Because this new work ain't gonna work. Yep. The sun and the moon ain't gonna show his light.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You could think your way out. You can manifest whatever you want. Strong willpower, your mindset.
Yeah.
The Lord give you your mindset, you dummies. You know what I mean? The brother just mentioned earlier when deep sleep falleth upon men, the Lord sealeth their instruction.
Yeah.
These psychologists know that. These psychologists know that, like Milton Erickson, Eric Erickson, Richard Bandler, John Grinder. I'm just some of the psychologists and stuff that wrote these that know how to do hypnosis. Those are names that I mentioned, like Milton Erickson, Eric Erickson, John Grinder, Richard Bandler. They wrote neuro-linguistic programming. So they all know that the Lord sealeth your instructions. So they try to do it on the left-hand side. Do their hypnosis on neuro-linguistic programming and advertising. I don't want to keep rambling.
That's right. That's Esau's wine, right? He says no more wine, no more that, right? And that's when the agendas of the elites, they're going to push certain things on people, give people certain things, and then take it away to have chaos, cause them to lose their minds.
It says people shout in the streets because there is no more wine. Happiness is gone forever. It has been banished from the land.
That's right, because this whole New World Order is going to be oppressive. There's going to be any more happiness.
That's right.
You're going to have to pay carbon tax. That means the carbon dioxide from breathing out is going to be a tax on it. And the way they're going to be able to do it is with this digital currency. With digital currency, they'll be able to
track and trace.
Track and trace and stop your spending on certain things. So you eating too much meat for the month. You went over $200 meat allowance for the month. Therefore, you can't buy meat for the month until your money recycled.
All designed, like Brother Lamaj mentioned, I don't know, like an hour ago or so, when he brought out during the 50s what was going on with this economy, how it was thriving, how America was thriving. Going back in Rockefellers, one of the 13 banking families, and they had their minions do that Bilderberg meeting where they planned on, even though it was thriving at that time, they wanted the whole collapse that shit back then. And it was going to be gradually with UPC, seeing people's buying habits, which will later lead into a permanent ID, a permanent tattoo. And that tattoo, you know, that mark, talking about that digital joint. All that was planned. And then the Rockefellers, they donated for the Harvard studies. And then one of the economists is studies of the structure of the American economy. This is what you're dealing with social engineering, price shocking, the manipulating economy and prices and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what Trump just did. With him pulling the rug with the market, announced the tariffs, and then he announced the pause after that, and he was bragging, oh yeah, this such and such, like, oh yeah, he just made $2.5 billion today. He just made $1 million today, right? This is
and to further understand, because sometimes brothers might not know what I'm talking about, they might not understand me. This is the chapter, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Break it down. Read it slowly, page by page here, 2 pages there, and it'll explain it better than I can. I understand it, but I don't really know how to explain it well.
Got one else?
Here's a little bit more. The city is in ruins, and its gates have been broken down.
That's right. So you're going to have terroristic attacks, have foreign invasions. You see how Ukraine is? The wars, when they're having the wars, urban warfare, that's what's going to take place in America. It's being destroyed, buildings being set on fire, terroristic attacks. These are going to be the new norm in the streets of America.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah. I got it.
2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
That's right, so this is going to be worldwide. It's going to be insurrections of the people. Swords in their hands, whether it be a gun, or a knife, machetes, actual swords, broken bottles, right? People are going to have something on them to defend themselves, right? But it's going to be these are going to be very dangerous streets. Just walk outside is going to be murder. People that are murdered, cannibals. The military going around, checking for chips, and if you don't got it, taking you home to a concentration camp. So one people going to have a sword in their hands, right? And even nation against nation. How to go to war with India. Israel's about to go to war with Iran as well as America, right? Go ahead.
Russia is backing that African country, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso,
yeah, Russia is backing them with nuclear missiles and nuclear energy.
Yeah. They said even North Korea and China too. They're backing them too.
They backing them too, right?
That's why he's kicking out. That's why I say Russia's going to be a god unto the nations. And as of late, Russia has signed a bunch of those treaties with North Korea, Iran. Basically, if you attack North Korea, you attack Russia. If you attack Iran, you attack Russia. You attack Burkina Faso, you attack Russia. Right? So this is why Ezekiel 38 in full force, man. Russia will be God unto the nations, backing them militarily, because America bullied, and America has been bullying the nations, and Russia, even though, but to the nations, Russia's had breath of fresh air. They're not as bad as the other ones. That's their mindset. So they're going to Russia for military technology and protection.
If I can add, so that's showing you that the Lord is in full control. Like probably the 21st chapter tells us, right? That the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. The Lord literally had Esau against Esau, right? He has this kingdom divided, as the scripture says. How can the kingdom be? Right? So you got Elam against Elam, right? Moab against Ammon. You know, he just divided these nations, literally make them do his will, which is, as he said, it is my determination to gather the nations to pour upon them my indignation.
Right. That's the end goal. World War III salvation, right? Which is the return of your house. This is the return.
Verse 16, 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
That's right. So they shall not regard their kings nor princes, seditions, uprisings. People just taking matters into their own hands. Because what? The government can tell them, yo, keep the home down, everything's going to be all right. But families are going to be hungry. Men's going to be starving. So they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to go outside, get food. And if it involves killing somebody and taking it from them, they're going to do that. Breaking into a house and see if there's food there, they're going to do that, man. Of course, their actions should stand in their power. And they show you above the posted GMS arrows of indignation. We posted the blackouts in 2003 and in 1977, where as soon as there was the blackout, within like an hour, it was already loose. Like basically, all hell was already breaking loose. And it was on edge because you're walking in the dark. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't know, who's around you. It could be a killer. You know what I'm saying? Be a cannibalist. You don't know what's going on, man. So imagine what's happening in Europe now with these blackouts coming here to the States, man.
Or leave the world behind because, no, you know how serious it is? Air traffic control is, right? They got to let the planes know all of this in the air so they don't collide with each other. It's constant traffic out there. People like that can't fuck up. So imagine that. He's so big, imagine you could really fuck up some shit like that. And how the players do that. You know what really doing or not.
Well, that's what they saying is a big issue nowadays. Like, that's why that whole Doge thing happened with Trump. Because he was saying people in the air trafficking, and DEI, you know what I'm saying, diversity heavy and inclusion or whatever, saying that they need smarter people because people are effing up in the area.
Aviation and shit.
Aviation and all that. That was one of the issues.
What it really is, even when you look into that thing, diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's basically allowing for Jake that's qualified and other niggas to get the position. Yeah. That's all it's all about. They don't give you the job, but how they selling it is like they just including black people, just to include them just to make it so-called fair and shit like that. Exactly. But it's just an excuse for them to think about AI. This is all it's all about. Well, you know what? We don't need no more extra. AI is going to take care of it. You see the pattern of these plane crashes. So we need AI. We need Eternal Skynet. We're not going to have any more plane crashes. We're not going to have any more. Matter of fact, we put AI in the car. No more accidents.
Certain life conditions, man, the fucking buildings blend in with the sky.
They got cars that drive themselves.
Yeah, we talking about that earlier. You know, self-driving cars, man. Hey, man, this is show you the scriptures don't lie, man.
And what's the technology behind the cars driving themselves?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all artificial intelligence, and they've been grooming you people to accept it so that you could normalize it, man. By the way of what we call it gradualism. Over time, they put it in the movies. You thinking, and it come up, oh, something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Because what you see it on TV, you think having a chip that's connected to AI make you smarter. You're able to, you know what I'm saying? Like in the new Black Mirror, they show you in the Black Mirror how they got chips where they basically go in another world, pretty much. Like with the chip. Well, guess what? It's all connected, man. It's going to be so much happening, people are going to try to get an escape from reality. And the way it's going to be by the way of the chip. If you take this chip, all the problems you got, trust me, it's all going to be gone. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about starvation anymore. You're going to be uploaded to the grid, and guess what? You're going to be able to eat. Right? The scripture say what? They're going to be able, they're going to try to eat, but not be satisfied, something like that in the book of Isaiah. Right? You're going to have them connected to the metaverse, eating in the verse because they can't eat in real life. And they're going to wake up and still be hungry. Like shit, man.
Yeah, shit.
You know what I
That's
mean?
heavy because that shows you that in the Matrix.
Yeah,
Steak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was eating the steak. He's like, you know, the sensory nerves of my brain tell me that I'm tasting the steak, but I'm really not.
He sold out for that.
Yeah, he sold out for that. Right.
Yo, why you between us? It's like, man, like, I just wanted a burger or something like that. He forgot what it tasted. You know what I'm saying? They feeding for that, man. So people feed for that, man. When you got nothing to eat but shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture talk like this. Yeah, eating bugs. I'll talk about that. You eat bugs. He said that. So people who get tired, get uploaded, want to come back.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's how
that technology is out right now. I seen a nigga woman, two nigga women. They download the thing and she plunked out. And the fucking eyes turn white. This shit is crazy.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
That's what we talk about. It's AI governance, man. Technocracy. Hey, man, there's a reason why Bill Gates owns all of the damn farmland down there, because he's a political behind this technocracy BS, man. Because he's gonna be those demigods in that time. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be one of those demigods in the time of, you know, when they try to this MOTV. In order for you to eat, well, who owns all of the damn crops, man? The so-called white man. Bill Gates. Yep. That's right. You're gonna have to go to this damn devil for your crops, man.
Going into this word lying in the Greek is pseudos. Right? Going into the pseudoscience. Right?
That's it, bro.
Yep, it says a lie, conscious and intentional falsehood.
Because with this whole thing, they want to create dystopia of a pseudo salvation. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the people that's down with the program, they're gonna be like in a form of salvation and living good. You know what I'm saying? But those that don't accept it, they're gonna have to suffer the worst of conditions, man. You know what I'm saying? So this this false science is what the so-called white man is trying to cloak as the answer to all the world's problems, man.
Back in 2 Thessalonians 2:9 in the NOT, this man will come to do the work of Satan, counterfeit power, and signs and miracles.
I got a word real quick. Yeah. This is the word totalitarianism.
Right.
It's a political system where the government exercises absolute control over all aspects of life.
So they want to make this a totalitarianist world, right? It's going to go from a so-called what you as a democracy to a total totalitarian system, man. Which is not really a democracy, and those that know that this world is not a democracy. But that's the front. That's the front that they put on it to make the world them as if they're a free world.
Yeah.
It's a delusion.
It's a delusion, bro.
It's no different from a dog on an extended leash.
Right.
Now the dog on an extended leash have the illusion of freedom,
Right.
but it still's on the leash.
Exactly. Perfect analogy, bro.
Freezer, I think you had it, right? 2 Thessalonians 2:11. You brought that out already, right?
Bring it out again.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them from delusion that they should believe a lie.
Go ahead, bro. You feel that?
And there's a little bit more because they're going to suppress opposition and individual rights. So whatever you were used to on your day-to-day life, it ain't going to be like that anymore.
Right.
Everything is going to be total control. Aaron Russo spoke that in the interview with Alex Jones. You know, and for that reason, they definitely X'd them out. Because the elites have an oppressive dystopian plan. Once they got everybody seated, that's it. There is no, listen, when you go on these buses, Metro New York, when you're going on these, everything is a barcode. That's preparing you gradually for this system to be in place. You know?
The digital system.
Right.
They're getting everything prepped for the digital system. Now, in New York, they have the congestion areas where they now, if you drive through these areas, you're gonna have to pass through a toll. But what is happening is they want to eliminate cars in that area, so they could introduce this what do you call that? 15-minute cities.
Right.
Small cities.
That's what's coming. The introduction of 15-minute cities. Everything being comprised within 15 minutes. So everything, all your necessities, all the resources, is going to be comprised in 15 minutes. So that's why you're seeing they slowly, eliminated cars, adding more bike lanes, adding more city bank bikes where you can purchase and go about your way. Because they want to eliminate cars. Because they want to bring in this new age. They want to exit the old age and enter this new age where it's it consolidates, centralized, and controlled.
And your bills are being sent to you. So you pay that toll, it ain't how you used to just easily pay the toll. They eliminate the whole way of doing it. So now you're getting it in the mail and you see a picture of your car. So now they're taking pictures of you, your car, everything. Because this way of controlling you.
And which shows you have no longer any. It's because you're supposed to have the right to face your accuser. Now, in the case, the city will send you the image, and you just have to pay. Show you the license plates. You run that street, and they'll give you the ticket. That's it. You can't challenge that. You can. Most people don't.
Continuing in this totalitarianism, it says it's a form of authoritarianism characterized by dictatorial rule and a single political party that controls everything.
Who's gonna be the? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Who's gonna be the dictators of this new world? So-called. All right, the elites, man. The elite bankers, the international bankers, man. All right. Go ahead.
It says, and a single political party that controls everything from the economy to culture.
The economy to culture. And another big thing about this carbon footprint thing, getting rid of cars, the brother Lamaya brought it out, that's a part of the agenda of carbon taxing you. Getting rid of cars.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Too much CO2 emission. And that's why they're getting rid of cows too. they're saying one of these is a global warming is cow's fault.
Right.
Like the most side, they didn't know what he was doing to cow. This was the devil. That whole global warming thing is a scheme to bring about depopulation. The whole talk that human beings are the. Who are we? What are we doing? You're the ones that own all those industries. You know, I think 60 or 70% of the world pollution is by the U.S. Army. We don't own the Army, but they don't put that on mankind.
And carbon, like how many billions of people in the world? Carbon is natural, it's waste products from cellular activity.
Yeah.
You think we think we're stupid? All right? Your cells do the work. You know, they use the oxygen for ATP, adenosine triphosphate. That's your energy molecules. You constantly need that energy. It's taking oxygen and the few nutrients or whatever. You know what I mean? In your cell. And then it's discharging that when the cell is discharging CO2. It's going from your blood, from your lungs to respiratory membrane. It's charging CO2 and picking up oxygen. You know what I mean? They call it pulmonary gas exchange. That's the doctor's way of saying it.
What is that? That's natural, man.
Yeah.
That's just the natural cycle of life. But the so-called white man want to get rid of that, man. He want to make his own natural cycle of life, which is unnatural.
Esau's not a spiritual. He's not a spiritual man.
That's right.
I don't know. Y'all looked into this before. They have the actual a light that illuminates when the sperm actually fertilize the egg. There's actually a light. Esau he'll go to the signs caused by zinc, but you know this is that's a spirit going into that egg now, and that's the soul of a man now or a woman now growing out of that egg. But this is the Most High's artwork.
Precept, which brings me to this precept.
And we can close out with that.
This is the book of Proverbs 16:4. The Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, hath made all things for himself, yet even the wicked for the day of evil.
And that's what that we're in.
Bad times.
We're in the days of evil, and we're approaching even more evil. Right?
We had to learn both sides. That's why the Most High created Esau, so we can see both sides. Because Esau is created to be the wicked. The wicked, what is wickedness? The breaking of the law. So now we see what happened when the law of the Most High is not being exercised. And this is what it becomes. So we seeing negativity, so we can understand positivity. See the both sides of the spectrum.
That's wisdom.
That's the balance. Because the word iniquity, when you break that, the word, you got the word equity. The word equity get the word equal, and what it means, iniquity, it really literally not equal, meaning not balanced. But we're in a time where the Most High is about to bring back the balance to the earth. What is balance? Because when things is level, that means things is fair. What makes things fair? When the laws of the Most High is being administered. Because when you don't have law, you don't have order. When you don't have order, what do you have? You have confusion. So that's what's about to happen. The Most High is about to turn things right side up.
That's why the scripture says a false balance is an abomination.
And that will make it iniquity, not equal. So we could close with that.
Listen, with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Yahushua, Bahashem, B'Kadash.
Double honors to the apostles of GMS that give us the truth. Thanks to all y'all for pushing this work. Shalom.
Shalom.